A lot of things that people follow is the traditions of men too. But we was in Romans 12:2, it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's the way you think, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. You ain't got to go that far to find out what's good. What he said was good. Romans 7:12. Let's find out what's good to please the Most High. Wherefore the law, it's the law of the Most High that he wrote with his own finger, the work of the Most High. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good. You see? The laws of the Most High and the commandments of the Most High is just and good. So that's why I said you got to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. You're not going to run away from it. No way you're going to get out of it. No way. So that's why I said we got to change. Go to and the change is going to make us better. For real, for real. So that we can be able to stand before the Most High in the Mashiach Yahushua and be accepted as we did a good job. Most High will. 1 John 2:15. 1 John 2:15, he said, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that's in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, things that you looking at and desire, and the pride of life, there's a whole lot of pride. He said it's going to be misery in this earth because of the pride that's going to be in this earth. That's why pride is in this earth. And misery is coming to another level. And the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. You see that? But all that's in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father. Most I hate a prideful man that's prideful. Pride is hateful before man and the Most High. When you see it, when you understand it. And the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. See that? And the world passes away, and the lust thereof. All this going. It's going to go. But he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. He that doeth the will of the Most High, keep the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High, going to abide forever. So, what you going to do? Change 4 and 4. Change 4 and 4. That's why it's about change. Getting this high-minded spirit of pride and hell. It's a condition called hell for us. James 4 and 4. You adulterers and adulteresses. That's what I say. We're dealing with how we got to change so that we be worthy to be released from captivity and be one of the ones that the Most High will consider the righteous. He said, James 4 and 4, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? To be friends of the world makes you at war with the Most High? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. So if you are operating in a way that you're all about this world, a lot of people, they about this world. That's why it says, Isaiah 8 and 20. Isaiah 8 and 20. To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, according to what's in this Bible, it is because there is no light in them. So if there's no light in you, that means you full of darkness. You're full of darkness. And ain't no darkness going to enter into the light or the day that a Mashiach HaMashiach is bringing when he come back as the day. That's going to eliminate the darkness. When it come, you know what I mean? Everything came from darkness, right? When that day come, that darkness is gone. And the Most High said, okay, day, relax. And he brought the darkness in. Because he told Esau, hey, sit thee silent, shut up, and get thee in the darkness. And when he got in the darkness, he put everybody in the gross darkness. But it's okay because he's still operating, let me get that, under the power of the Most High. That's what a lot of people don't really understand, but let's see. Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones to the intent that the living, Daniel 4:17, may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. That's why you heard Cyrus saying the Most High told him to build a temple. The Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and set up and giveth it to whomsoever he will and set up over it the basis of men. That's where we at. This is the last kingdom that's going to rule as man on this earth, in the world that we know now. Because the scripture says in 2 Ezra 6:9, for Esau is the end of the world. And Jacob, who is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, is the beginning of it that followeth. We got next forever and ever and ever. That's why it behooves anyone to hear my voices, try their best to do the best they can and follow the Most High's rules and regulations. Y'all know what rules and regulations are. Spirit gave me that, so that's law, statutes, commandments, his rules and regulations. That's all it is. But you see, he ruled in the kingdom of men and set up over it the basis of men. He saved the basis of men for last. The most wicked in all the world. And into an unjust king. You know, so we have to look at what we need to do. Some things that we need to do, at least to change. You're not supposed to be, I could tell you, go to Leviticus, the 19th chapter. When you go through these laws, like I said, you can go over the laws. I'm going over the laws. You can go on YouTube, Prestawam, THAAHWAM, and type in going over the laws. And I'm going over these laws. So no one has no excuse of not knowing the laws. Let's go to Leviticus 19:1. Because we got to get out here ourselves. It says, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, ye shall be holy. For I, the Most High, your power, am holy. Holy means pure and perfect in truth, dealing with his truth. Verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. That's why you look at the New Testament, once Mashiach HaMashiach said it, and he was telling us too, love your neighbor as thyself. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. You're supposed to be hating our people. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. You doing this, you sinning. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Most High. This is very important because we can look at this any way you want to, but all throughout the New Testament, the Most High and Mashiach HaMashiach tell us to love each other. And we really need to know that now because just like that, I don't like you no more. Whoop. I'm through with you. And the Most High looking down upon you saying, hey, that's wrong. Let me show you something. If you allow me to. Say you have a problem. And you really don't know who it is you're dealing with. Let's go to Matthew the 18th chapter. Let's start at verse 1. At the same time came the disciples of the Mashiach saying, this is what they asked him. Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Ain't that something? Who is the, man, I hope, we the body of a Mashiach, I hope I could be that little bitty toenail that just started to grow. At least it's in there, right? You in there some kind of way. The little bitty baby toenail of it is the body of Mashiach, as long as you can make it. Who cares about, look what they ask him. Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven, right? What a question to ask. And the Mashiach called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them. This is how you got to get all that negative and all those things, those hanks, as my old man used to call them, them spirits out of you, them evil spirits out of you. And the Mashiach called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them and said, verily, truly, I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Because the child is innocent. You know, child get into a fight, or they get into an argument, whatever, next thing you know, they back playing again. But us, nah. People, that's what I say. That's why the Spirit had me go to, without even knowing it, we should not hold no grudges against the children of your people. And the Mashiach called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them. They want to know who the greatest in the kingdom of heaven, right? And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, that means changed, and become as little children, ye shall not, I repeat, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. So what's that telling all of you adults? Y'all better start looking at how the children are. Those that are, because you got some children that can be put to death too. Don't get that twisted. Ezekiel 9:4 down tell you that. But the ones that's working to be righteous, they learning the right way, that's why I say it. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself, see? That's contrary to being what? Prideful. You see? Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. He said, and whoso shall receive one of such little child in my name, by Hashem Mashiach shall receiveth me, he said. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones, people don't care about offending one of these little ones. That's why these scriptures come into my mind when it comes down to, I must keep it real with correction and so forth and making someone see their error. But he said, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him or her that a millstone was hanged about his neck and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. I'll read it again. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones, what do these little ones do? Which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. That's saying a lot. So which one is a little one? You deciding which one is a little one? That's why I don't know. That's why you gotta, like he said, verse 4, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Now there's a balance to everything now, because it says, verse 7, woe unto the world because of offenses. Meaning people are going to be offending a whole lot. The whole woe means destruction to the world because of offenses. For it must needs be that offenses come. But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. You see? That's causing the offense. Woe to that man or woman that's causing the offense. When we said one of them little ones, it said this after He talk about one of them little ones. You might as well tie a noose around your neck and a great millstone and cast it into the sea. Kill yourself. That's what he's just telling you. That's your lovely Jesus telling you that. Listen. He said, woe unto the world because of offenses. It must needs be that offenses come. But woe, destruction to that man by whom the offense cometh. That's serious. Look at Matthew. Well, go to 10. It say, verse 10. Take heed that you despise not one of these little ones. See, a lot of people despising one of the Most High's little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven, in the third dimension, in heaven, their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. See, them little ones have angels. Hear what it said? It didn't say angel, it said angels. That's always before the face of the Most High, giving an account of someone else that's dealing with offending one of those little ones. They have angels, or we have angels, that's before the Most High on our behalf. Read it again. Take heed that you despise not one of these little ones. Well, he told you in verse 6, but whosoever shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone, a big giant rock, were hanged about his neck, and that he would drown in the depth of the sea. Because what you gonna do when the Most High send them angels after you? What you gonna do then? When them angels come, you know he got them. He got them ready for you. Are you ready for them? So this is what it say. He said, verse 10, take heed that you despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. See. Them angels always behold the face of the Most High which is in heaven. And what you think? He said, it'd been better for you to kill yourself than to be caught with one of them angels of the Most High that he sent forth and say, go get them. Because look, Ecclesiastes 39 and 28 in the Apocrypha. There be spirits, it tells you in Psalms 104 and 4, he make of his angel spirits, his ministers, a flaming fire. He said, there be spirits, these are angels, that are created for vengeance. He's just telling you, keep in mind, in Matthew 18:10, take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. Now, Ecclesiastes 39 and 28 said, there be spirits or angels that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. What are they? Fire. The angels bring about fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. The angels of the little ones are beholding the face of the Most High in heaven all the time, giving a report. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment. When the angels telling the Most High in the third dimension, in heaven, about those that are offending his little ones, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth. So he got angels that's on the earth that report from the third dimension to this dimension, that they're ready on the earth right here. All the things we just read, fire and hail and famine and death, teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpents, sword punishing the wicked to destruction. They right here on the earth. Angels or spirits of the Most High. They shall rejoice in his commandment. They're going to rejoice to do what the Most High want them to do, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. That's why Master Shai says it's better for you to kill yourself than to deal with them. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. They're going to do just what the Most High want them to do. Because remember, Matthew 18:10, take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. Hallelujah. Let's look at Matthew the 5th chapter and verse 23. 5 and 23. It says, therefore, these are commandments, these are orders. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, you want to pray, you praying, and then remember, and there, when you go to start praying, remember that thy brother hath aught against thee. You remember that your brother have something against you, a problem with you. Leave there thy gift before the altar, stop praying, and go thy way. Go your way. First, be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift, right? So, this is an order. He said, you remember that your brother have out against you, not you have an out against him. This is a balance here. You know that your brother got out against you, so you go and reconcile with your brother and then come and pray, right? Because it's like people just think, oh, they got a problem with me, but I ain't got to do nothing. No, if you know they got a problem with you, go to your brother and reconcile that. That's love. You know, that's the proper way to do it. Now, go to Matthew 18 and 15. Matthew 18 and 15. It says, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. This is opposite. If you know your brother got a problem with you, he said, go reconcile with your brother. Now, if the brother shall transgress against you, he do something that breaks, you know, the bond of peace with you and your brother, doing something that, you know, is wrong or raunchy, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. Nobody else, don't speak to nobody else about it. It's you and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But, this condition, if he hear you, go to your brother alone, he hear you, you gain your brother. He said, but if he will not hear thee, if he won't hear you, say, then take with thee one or two more. You tell one or two more, brothers, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established, right? So once you tell the brothers what has happened, then you got 3 people coming to him. Telling him his fault. How he trespassed against you. Verse 17, this is the order of things. And if he shall neglect to hear to them, after the 3 of them came to him and said, hey, man, you wrong. Tell it to the church. The church is the children of Israel. You can tell it to everybody then. That's the order. You go to brother alone. He don't hear you. Take 1 or 2 more witnesses with you. You try and squash the matter. You don't hear it. Then you can tell everybody. Then you go on social media and tell everybody, all the Israelites or whatever. And if he shall neglect to hear the church, them, tell it to the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, look, if you neglect to hear the church, the children of Israel, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. Let him be as a heathen man and a publican. That's what Moses is saying. uh, look at, because you say we got to be like little children. Look at Matthew 19, humble. Matthew 19 and 13, since we here. It says, then were there brought unto him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray. Put his hands on them and pray over the little children, right? And the disciples rebuked them. See that spirit in them? They just wanted them to pray, put his hands on the little children, pray over the little children. Anoint them, you know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. And the disciples rebuked them. Little children. But the Mashiach said, suffer little children and forbid them not to come unto me. For of such is the kingdom of heaven. You know, of such is the kingdom of heaven. And he laid his hands on them and departed thence. See, Mark 10 and 14. Mark the 10th chapter, the 14th verse. But when the Mashiach, let's see, let's go up, this verse 13. And they brought young children to him. This Mark 10 and 13, Salakia. And they brought young children to him that he should touch them. And the disciples rebuked those that brought them. But when the Mashiach saw it, he was much displeased and said unto them, suffer the little children to come unto me. Forbid them not, for of such is the kingdom of the Most High. You seeing this? Verily I say unto you, whosoever shall not receive the kingdom of the Most High as a little child, he shall not enter therein. And he took them up in his arms, put his hands upon them, and blessed them, like I said. So I want to go to Judges, because we really, that's just something, you know. Well, let me go to the elders, because I want to make sure, because that doesn't apply the same way to elders, where he just told the disciples of how to deal with their brothers. In 1 Timothy 5 and 1, and these are the men that's over 50 years old, it says, rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father. It said, rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren, right? The elder women as mothers, the younger as sisters with all purity. You see? Now let's jump over to verse 17. It says, let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine, who's bringing forth this truth, scripture after scripture, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Verse 19, this pertaining to an elder. Against an elder receive not an accusation. How? But before 2 or 3 witnesses. See, people just think they can do whatever they want to do with an elder. I mean, I've just seen this with elders that wasn't even in the truth. Nobody accepted that. No elders accepted that. Israel got the elders, they're not even 50 years old. And that's from Numbers, the 4th chapter, y'all. 30 to 50 is ministry. 50, after you past 50, then you become an elder. Read it for yourself. He said, against an elder receive not an accusation, but before 2 or 3 witnesses is saying. 2 or 3 witnesses. We can go to Deuteronomy 17, 16. Go to the law. But he shall not, let me see. No, that's not. That's the wrong. So hold up. Salakia, that's wrong. Deuteronomy 17 and 6, Salakia. It says, at the mouth of two witnesses or three witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death, but of the mouth of one witness he shall not be put to death. So it goes back to the law. You know, how the mouth of two witnesses, two or three witnesses, is going to be enough to be able to determine the situation, make a righteous judgment. Not just one person saying however they feel. Deuteronomy 19 and 15. Deuteronomy 19 and 15. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity or for any sin, and any sin that he sinneth. At the mouth of two witnesses or at the mouth of three witnesses shall the matter be established. You see? So this is very important because a lot of our people just feel that they can do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it, and be off as ever, and being in sin. And then when you correct them, let me read this to you, because this is where, you know, a man of the Most High have to be. And a lot of times, you know, it'd be hard for those that are out of the spirit to accept. But when you've been in this truth a long time and you rolling according to looking at something and comparing it with these scriptures, then it makes a whole other different world from the world that you've been raised in and thinking that you are on point in what you're doing. That's why Ezekiel 3rd chapter and the 17th verse says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. This is a warning from the Most High. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. That's why a lot of times, you know, our people have to learn how to take correction. You want to make it to the kingdom? That's why I say, in the spirit, without being directed anyway from myself, looking at what this is saying, you got to be as a little child. You got to be humble. You got to be as a little child. And you got to be able to know how to take correction, because it's going to come a time when this mercy and grace is going to be lifted up and you're going to see people falling dead. He said 1,000 on your left and 10,000 on your right. I don't want to see nobody. I know nobody that's other nation fall, you know, into. That's why he said, if you don't warn, he said, but his blood will I require at thine hand, for not warning and telling them what's right, as a watchman of the nation of Israel. Verse 19, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn from his wickedness, excuse me, yet if thou warn the wicked and he turn not from his wickedness, he don't want to listen to what you got to say and keep doing the same thing over and over again, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. Where you think you going? You die in your iniquity. To hell? Gonna burn in the lake of fire? But thou hast delivered thy soul. See? That's what people don't understand. And it makes so that people that might want to deal with you because you tell them what's real. But you delivered your soul. I delivered my soul and telling you, correcting you and telling you this is what's right. Whether you hear or forbear. That's why he told us, look. Verse 8. But verse 7. What did he say before that? Long before this. He says, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee. Some people won't listen to it. But they will not hearken unto me. Moses said they don't listen to you because they won't listen to me. They reading the same words I'm reading. He said, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impotent and hard-hearted. Silly and hard-hearted. Behold, I have made thy face hard against their faces. Oh, you talk too hard for me. Moses said, behold, I have made thy face hard against their faces, and thy forehead, the way you think, strong against their foreheads, the way they think. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not. Why you saying fear them not? Israel, our people, something else. Neither be dismayed at their looks, looking at you all crazy and so forth. Though they be a rebellious house. Going over here to verse 20. He said, again, when a righteous man does turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, like we all learning, living in pride in our life, he turned from his righteousness and commit iniquity, commit sin, wickedness before the Most High, and I lay a stumbling block before him. You hear that? You could do the wrong thing, the Most High lay a stumbling block before you. He shall die. He put something in front of you to make you die. Because thou hast not given him warning, he shall die in his sin. He will die in his sin. And his righteousness which he have done shall not be remembered. That's deep. That's deep. He said the righteousness you done all your life and trying to be in this world of truth, he said shall not be remembered. But his blood, him dying in his iniquity, will I require at thine hand. You're responsible for it. Who? Verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. He said his blood, he gonna die in his iniquity, his blood, I'm required at your hand, our hand. Verse 21, nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he does not sin, he shall surely live. See? Sin is transgression of the Most High's laws, his rules and regulations, as we hearing all throughout this lesson, all through the lesson I'm bringing forth, because all I'm dealing with is scripture after scripture. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he does not sin, he shall surely live. So if you sin, you stand a chance of dying. Most High putting you to death, especially now when his mercy and grace is being lifted up. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he does not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. So that's why I say, you got to be able to know how to take correction. I did a lesson on that, how to take correction. Because he is warned. Also, thou hast delivered thy soul. See? You delivered your soul from the Most High. And those spirits that we just read about, that's on this earth, ready to bring forth the commandment of the Most High. And death was one of them, of them angels. So let's go to Judges, the 10th chapter. And let's show you something. Let's look at something as how we were able to come out of captivity. A solution. This one good. good means of solution as he's gonna talk to us. But through Judges, we are dealing in captivity after captivity. Let's start at Judges. The verse 10. And the children of Israel cried unto the Most High, saying, we have sinned against thee. We have sinned against the Most High, both because we have forsaken our power and also served, what's that? Baalim. Baalim, I'll say. Now, I looked in a great chance for you to see. I looked in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, and I looked up the first word of B, and look what it says. And share it with your brothers and sisters. It says Baal. The first word it says is Lord. You see that? So somebody done put L-O-R-D in here, and y'all done fell for it. Y'all done fell for it. Y'all still calling on the name of the L-O-R-D. Baal. Listen what it said. And that's what Baal, it says L-O-R-D. Y'all make it mean whatever you want to mean it. This what it says in the scriptures. Judges 10:10. That's why I don't say that. Remember, if you don't remember anything else, always consider this. Revelation 12:9. Revelation 12:9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. That's his whole job, to deceive the whole world. And the world been deceived. Something simple as that, you'll try and make it mean something different. Did you call it on Baal? B-A-A-L. Look, going back to Judges 10:10. The children of Israel cried unto the Most High, saying, we have sinned against thee, both because we have forsaken our power and also served that L-O-R-D or B-A-A-L-I-M. You know, going back to Nimrod, Semiramis, Tammuz. That's that Trinity right there. Most High he have a power head. The Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, that's it. And all the angels that speak to us and deal with us. But see, it say, and the children of Israel cried unto the Most High, saying, we have sinned against thee, both because we have forsaken our power, the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name changed to Israel and became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, and also served that name I just showed you in this Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, B-A-A-L, which means Lord, L-O-R-D. Salaki Musa. He said he ain't supposed to be saying the names of those other guys out of your mouth. That's why I changed. But, you know, we go little by little, we going to get it right. You know. So the nations know this. What you think? They're going to show you how the right way? They publishing it. And wicked Israelites, you know, come up with their way to be able to have us be wicked too. You just heard what it said. We serve Baal, which means L-O-R-D. And they put it right in here. And y'all talking about Most High, L-O-R-D. Most High, G-O-D. Dog spelled backwards. Come on. Ezekiel 39:23. The nations know this. Ezekiel 39:23. And the heathen, these other nations, shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity. Why? Why? For their iniquity. For sinning against the Most High. And serving L-O-R-D. Which is B-A-A-L. As we just read. Instead of calling on them. You got to understand what you're doing. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. Who printing these Bibles? Who publishing them? Because they trespassed against me, against the Most High. Therefore hid I my face from them, and he gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword, according to their uncleanness. and according to their transgressions have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. So the heathen know this. These other nations, they know this, outside of us, the 12 tribes of Israel. So now, going back to Judges 10th chapter, verse 10 again. And the children of Israel cried unto the Most High. You ain't crying to the Most High with no pride. You gotta be humble, like he just said, in the spirit, like a little child. I'm just listening to how the Spirit bring it out, because it ain't something that I have, set up to actually bring out like that. But I'm listening to what the Spirit is saying, that telling us in us being able to get out of our captivity, how we got to be. And the children of Israel cried unto the Most High, saying, we have sinned against thee. But because we have forsaken our power, we've forsaken the Most High, and the heathen know this, and also serve Baalim, or Baal. And the Most High said unto the children of Israel, did not I deliver you from the Egyptians? That's what we're dealing with now. The feast of unleavened bread on the 15th day of the first month. Listen to what he said. When was that? On the 15th day of the first month. The feast of unleavened bread. The day after the Passover, that night. After the Passover was over, and it became night, which starts our day, next day, in the evening, the 15th, that's when we left. And the Most High said unto the children of Israel, did not I deliver you from the Egyptians on the 15th of the first day? That night, the night starts the day. Even when Esau started at 12 o'clock, we just start probably, daylight savings time be a little later, about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, something like that. About 4 hours, 4 hours difference, And from the Amorites, from the children of Ammon, and from the Philistines, all these people had us in captivity. Like we're in captivity now. The Zidonians also, and the Amalekites, and the Moabites did oppress you, and ye cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hand. All you macho, egotistic, big-headed Israelites, you think we get out of captivity with your pride? Or the Most High gonna move you out the way until those that's gonna see what it is that worked for us, what we did. Read it for yourself. Make it be something different. I'm talking to all you prideful Israelites out there, thinking you all that, when you ain't nothing as you ought to be. None of us. We know in part and prophesy in part. You ain't sick of this place, man. You talking about we in hell, but you want to be somebody in hell. Mashiach Shai made himself no reputation. He said, he that exalted himself shall be abased. He that humbled himself shall be exalted. He humbled himself. It's all there. All these people have us oppressed. The Zidonians also, and the Amalekites and the Maonites did oppress you, and ye cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hand. Yet ye have forsaken me, and served other gods, other idols. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. All these religions, all these different, these facets of unbelieving in what we got to deal with to get out of here. Before the Most High. Making me something different. How long is what it's going to take to get you to really see this, to change, to really become a new man. Really see that, hey, I gotta bring it down, or the Most High gonna make you sick. He gonna bring them plagues on you, and he gonna kill you. Or he might let you suffer for a long time before he do kill you. That's what time we in right now. When you hear or forbear. This is a solution. Straight up. Listen what the Most High said. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods. It might be yourself. You might be your own power. But it's talking about Praise the Most High, praise the Mashiach, or whatever name you use, and praise double honors to the elders. Y'all so into man, and you are the Most High. You better hear yourself. Whoever you are, I'm talking to you leaders, point blank. You better hear and forbear. Unless you want to just be put to death with the rest, and all your flock, whoever it is that's going to really feel that same way. I'm talking for the Most High. I mean, this is what it says in these scriptures, man. Make it mean something different. He said, yet ye have forsaken me and served other idols. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. We got to be delivered. I don't know about you, but I want my people to be delivered. Those that striving to make it to the kingdom. And y'all acting like y'all somebody in hell. The first thing you tell the people, oh, we in hell. But you trying to be somebody in hell. He said, go cry unto the idols which ye have chosen, including yourself. Go cry to yourself. And I was reading scripture, Most High said, they was praying, he said, I ain't even hear them. You realize that? People be praying, Most High, I ain't listening to them. You know what he said? He said, go and cry unto the idols which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. This is the time of David, of Jacob's trouble, man. Y'all what y'all gonna call? Which one of your leaders tell them that we Mashiach them? Or are your people Yam on the end of your name? You better think about it. Ain't nobody that I know of that came on this earth and called himself Mashiach them or took up some high level of position amongst our people. Don't you see they be put to death? Don't you see they be put to death? Even trying to help us, they be put to death. Most I said in Deuteronomy 28:68, ain't no man gonna save you, Israelites. You better depend on the Most High. He only gonna save us. He's the only one. Why it says, yet ye have forsaken me, it's from the Most High, and served other gods, other idols. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the idols which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. That's hurtful. And the children of Israel said unto the Most High, we have sinned. Do thou unto us whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Deliver us only. We pray thee this day. We just where we gonna be at. And all you religious leaders who I'm talking to, and they put away the